Welcome to From Center Ice. My name is Courtney, and we've got a trade to talk about. By the end of the season, did you like Nikita Zadorov? Did you not like Nikita Zadorov? It doesn't matter now because he is no longer a Blackhawk. Yes, they had tendered a qualifying offer, but that was so they still had his signing rights, which they could then trade away, which they did do this morning to the Calgary Flames. And in return, the Chicago Blackhawks picked up a 2022 third-round pick. So if you just look at this deal, just Nikita Zadorov for the 2022 third, that's a pretty good deal. By the end of the season, he had pretty much fallen out of favor with Blackhawks fans, and people were wanting him moved, and he was moved, and getting a third-round pick is a pretty good deal, especially for someone who is not signed. He's a 26-year-old defender, he's 6'6", he is a big guy, and when he came to Chicago, everybody was hoping that he would be that physical presence that they really need, especially on the back end. And while he did lay some hits, and some big hits, it wasn't nearly as much as people expected. And when it comes to points, he just doesn't really put up a whole lot of those. This past season, he scored 1 goal, he added 7 assists for a total of 8 points with the Blackhawks. And while he wasn't great, the Blackhawks defense as a whole was pretty bad, and Zadorov definitely wasn't as bad as some people made him out to be. But here's where everybody gets caught up. So I told you to just look at this trade, just this one, right? Just Zadorov for the third-round pick. Well, you know nobody does that. So how the Blackhawks acquired Nikita Zadorov was in a trade in last year's offseason, where the Blackhawks sent Brandon Saad and Dennis Gilbert to the Colorado Avalanche in exchange for Nikita Zadorov and Anton Lindholm, who played in Rockford this season. Yes, Brandon Saad did have that big cap hit, and I didn't really mind trading him. It didn't make a whole lot of sense to keep him, especially with what the team looked like, how we figured they would do this season, which they did end up missing the playoffs like a lot of people thought they would. So he went off to Colorado. He was a very good player for them, had a good playoffs, and unfortunately, they did not win the cup, but it is what it is. But even though the Chicago Blackhawks drafted Brandon Saad, there were a couple of other trades that he was involved in, and this is where people get very angry on the internet. So Brandon Saad was originally sent off to the Columbus Blue Jackets, and then make sure you're sitting down because this is the trade that gets people all worked up, and the end of the world has arrived, even though it happened a few years ago now. Nobody's over it. The Blackhawks traded Artemi Panarin to the Columbus Blue Jackets to get Brandon Saad back. Yes, Artemi Panarin. Yes, we miss him dearly. But, guys, you gotta get over it. I know. It sucks. Panarin was fun to watch. He was very fun to watch with Patrick Kane, but it happened, and it happened a few years ago. You just gotta get over it. No, I am still not over the Blackhawks trading Steven Johns or Henry Jokiharju, but we're not talking about those deals, we're talking about this one. So all of that happens, and then they send Brandon Saad to Colorado for Nikita Zadorov, who nobody really wanted. And so he was criticized all season for not being a #1 defender and just not being super great. Okay, it's a little dramatic. Nobody expected him to be a #1 defender, but just go with it. And we all know that people were more critical of him because of that trade. Again, he wasn't the best, but he wasn't nearly as bad as some people said. So now they let Nikita Zadorov go to the Calgary Flames for a third-round pick next year, so if you really wanted to be super dramatic about it and look at it this way, they traded Artemi Panarin for a third-round pick. You're welcome. If you think about it rationally, that's not how it works, but when have people on the internet in the hockey fandom ever been rational? The answer is that they haven't. So that is the trade that the Chicago Blackhawks made this morning. Do you like it? Do you not like it? I personally do like it. Hopefully that third-round pick turns out to be somebody good. We don't know. But that's all I've got for this one. If you want to hear more from me or from Center Ice, head on over to FromCenterIce.com or give us a subscribe on this channel. There's a lot happening today, so there's a lot of videos coming out, and we are recording a podcast later this evening, so you have all of that to look forward to. If you're watching all of these videos back to back that I'm going to put up, I will see you very soon, or you can follow us on social media. All of the links are in the description. You can click on those. You'll see when everything new comes out, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye, guys.